welcome to Today's Sensation. I'm your host, Dan, and on this episode, we are going to be taking a look at the book Genius Animated, the cartoon art of Alex Toth. Hi, welcome to Today's Sensation. I'm your host, Dan, and in this episode, I'm going to be looking at the book Genius Animated, the cartoon art of Alex Toth. This book, this is part of a series of 3 books that came out a couple years ago, and IDW put them out, and I had wanted to get this particular one in the hardcover. I didn't have the money right away, but I was going like, okay, it just came out, and then very, very quickly, that one sold out. The other 2 did not sell out for a long time. This one sold out like so fast it would make your head spin. So I did not get the hardcover. Boo-hoo for me. And I wasn't as interested in the other 2 books. I saw the Cartoonist Kayfabe guys went through one of the other books, and it looked interesting. And obviously, Toth is a genius artist. But I don't need every book ever put out. And this is the stuff of his. I mean, he did some good cartoon work, but overall, a lot of the cartoon stuff he did was not, did not have themes or was not in genres that I was as interested in. There is some good stuff though, and there's, but the big thing here is the cartoon stuff is basically, that's what I love about him. And so I'm going to do a reasonably quick jump through of this. The cool part about it, look at that page already. See, that's why I wanted the hardcover. That's separating already. The cover's separating. Dang it. All right. It's brand new. What are you going to do? The Three Musketeers. Now, I think I vaguely remember this. I don't really know. 68. So might have been 8 or 9 when this was probably airing. I just, if it didn't have monsters in it, it basically wasn't watching too many cartoons. Or if it was, unless it was funny too. I mean, I would occasionally watch the superhero ones, but mostly if I was hoping they would have monsters or really wild villains, like, But anyway, so this is cool because he did, there's storyboards in this, there's model sheets in this, here they're writing about Space Angel. I don't know anything about this. This might be one that never came out. I've never seen this. It might not have ever made it to. Here we go. The designs, the model sheets for Space Ghost. And Johnny Quest. See, a lot of these cartoons, I can only watch 1 or 2 at a time. I mean, Space Ghost and a lot of the other ones, those short ones, are so repetitious. And even though they have monsters in them, it just doesn't build anything. There's very little there. I enjoyed them when I was a kid, but nowadays I don't end up wanting to rewatch them very much. But the Johnny Quest ones are, they hit just the right amount of storytelling, and that I find them very rewatchable even to this day. There's some more Space Ghost. The amazing thing is the way he was able to create characters that seem so dynamic. I mean, you have to simplify so much, especially back then for animation. When it was that limited animation, you just had to create these dynamic figures that were great standing still or with very, very little animation to it. And he was a genius at that. I mean, you know, and that's what the best of the, um, you know, anime are like too. You know, they're having to create these things that, you know, the animation in most of the anime stuff is very, very limited. You know, they save what little animation budget they have for a couple of key scenes in each episode, and then the rest of it's very, very static. And that's the way this is, and it really takes a lot to do that right. Oh, that's a great pose. Amazing. And there's some, shows the colors on the cells. You know, what was always killed me was when I was really little, when I was, uh, in the 60s, I was, as a kid. And what killed me was that I'd see these cartoons and the art was so vivid to me. And then you would get a comic book and the comic book art was, in most cases, much lesser, not nearly as fun, exciting, dynamic. And I didn't really get why that was as a kid. It was very disappointing to me as a little kid, but it's because you didn't have Alex doing your comic book for you. It's a great villains, wild, weird devices. These creatures, like that creature in his armor, it's hard to tell if he's supposed to be part mechanical or not. I did like these too. I did like the body language in this. It was very important to come up with those different shapes and stuff too. Dino Boy. That's really good. That is just a terrific pose. Here's some of those storyboards. Wow. Dynamite stuff. Look at this. I won't spend too long on these. But, if you're interested in animation at all, this is a book. You don't have to even be a fan of Alex. Well, how can you be into animation and not be a fan of Alex? And this is definitely a series that did not get off the ground. I did not like the Moby Dick show, even though there was occasionally monsters on it. It was just too much. That's a great. Has any of the toy companies that do all those retro toys and these that's on even the most deep dive characters, even done these things? Because man. Yeah. This is for a commercial, but it's not a real commercial. Mermaid margarine wasn't real. What does it say about it? It says something like yeah, it says it's possible he created these as samples for an ad agency work for his portfolio, I guess. The Shazam cartoon again. When I was a kid, I watched them all. I watched them to see the monsters, any monsters that might pop up, but they don't really hold up as well as like Johnny Quest. Here's model sheets for the Fantastic. Ooh, that's a great Dr. Doom. So here's another show. More. I was thinking of where's that Kirby book? Oh, here's those pictures. Him doing the Fantastic Four reminds me, in this issue of the Kirby Collector, at some point they did a in the 80s, they brought back all the space stars from those early Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and Kirby did some of the model work for those. This is one from where the gang turns into a bunch of monsters and the day has to be saved. So that's Kirby. So there was Alex doing Kirby, and here's Kirby doing Alex, kind of. But anyway, okay, I'm taking too long on this one. There's the Herculoids. I absolutely loved this when I was a little kid, but when I try and rewatch it now, like I said, I can make it through an episode or two, but I can't binge these because they're just, man, these, fantastic. Fantastic. You can't binge them because the stories are so light and repetitious. Birdman. Birdman. The mighty. The Mightor was another one where it's kind of like, you know, between the kids and the goofy little dragon. As a kid, I was really losing interest in some of these. But again, there's always something good in them. There's always something worthwhile in these shows, and I chalk it mostly up to him. There's the Three Musketeers again. And see, until this book, I didn't know he had done anything for Disney. And here's some work he did for Robin Hood. Not, you know, like I said, until this book, I didn't know he'd done it. But look at how wicked he makes Dr. Smith look. You know, the thing is, in the regular show, they made him very evil, but then he's not, that looks positively satanic. And he did not stay that evil for the course of the show. So lots of great stuff here. Like I said, all kinds of behind the scenes stuff here. Super Friends. So before Bruce Timm and those guys super simplified them for the Justice League cartoon and the Batman cartoon, Toth had done his own version of these figures in a way that they could be done very well. Now here's a big group of storyboards. Solomon Grundy. I do like the Solomon Grundy and the Justice League Unlimited a little bit better. But that's you know, Alex could do some good looking characters there. So Dial H for Heroes, all kinds. So there's a lot of stuff back here for things that didn't make it, and more model sheets and stuff. So there you go. That's a look at this. Like I said, this is my favorite of the three books, and maybe I'll be convinced if I come on a deal for the other two, I'll get those two. But if you're like me and these cartoons are a big part of your adventure-loving childhood, and even if the cartoons themselves don't hold up, obviously Alex's work on them did.